Hello, everybody, friends and family, all my loved ones, all the ones who don't know me, all the ones that, know me and don't like me. Hi, everybody. Um, Today I would like to talk about the CERN Hadron Collider. Now, a lot of people are not up on the CERN fiasco and the things that happen at CERN. What is CERN, first off? CERN is what is called a Large Hadron Collider. And what they do is they take two singular elements and they strip them down to their antimatter nanoparticulars. Um, and then they um, accelerate them um, in a centrifugal motion, means a circular motion, at a high rate of speed, um, speed of light and beyond. And then they smash them together in a tiny space. Okay. So with CERN, you'll see two circles, one big and one little one. The big one is where they do the um, the tearing down of hydrogen and carbon particles, and what I'm saying, the acceleration of them. And the little circle is where you see them. That's where they smash it together at, where they smash the two nanoparticulates of antimatter together, okay, to create basically more antimatter. Excuse me, sorry. Um, Now, I've been following this since 2008. CERN is actually not a new technology. They've had it since the 1950s, but they haven't. That's when they started talking about the atom smashers. Okay, that's when they started doing a lot of different things with nuclear technology and atomic technology. Okay, and also neutronic technology. Um, but now it's accelerated to something that is beyond evil. But it was always beyond evil to begin with, because if you have to strip something down to find something out, you know, that's like somebody's child. They're dressed a certain way, but you don't know if they're boy or girl, so you want to strip them down, you know, to no clothes to see if they're a boy or a girl. I know that's a really fucked up analogy, but that's exactly what they're doing at CERN in Geneva, Switzerland. Is like that's the exact analogy, and that shit's beyond evil. You don't have to take it that way, but I'm telling you that's what it is. Okay. Now, there's a scientist named Edward Mantill. Um, he was just found dead, supposedly, in his lab. Um, he destroyed all his lab work except for one text that said, in CERN they found out how to use the machine to basically remote view forward or back in time and stop um events from happening. Okay. And he said he remote viewed to this one point in time that was supposed to happen this spring of 2016. But he thwarted it. He thwarted it, meaning that he stopped it from happening by using a ferret that they used to go and clean out the tubes of the CERN height. Well, the ferret was a relative of a ferret in the physicist community. they use to clean out the tubes at the CERN Hadron Collider um, facility in Switzerland. Well, actually, no. The there was the ferret they used over there was the one they used to clean out the hydrogen collider. The one that they used over here, because there's there's three CERN laboratories here in the United States. Um, well, one is an actual laboratory, and two are basically like antimatter and nanoparticulate containment units. One is located in Illinois, right here where I live. Guess where? Guess the city where it's located at. It's at Fermilab. Guess where Fermilab is located? Here in Illinois. It's located in Geneva, Illinois. Okay? So, he used the ferret from over here to go into the tubes and chew the wires over there at the CERN Large Hadron Collider in Geneva, Switzerland. So the ferret from Geneva, Illinois, where Fermilab is located, was taken to Geneva, Switzerland, stopped an event that was supposed to happen, but it only stopped it for 3 years. Okay. He said he doesn't know why, but all their events that they can manage to stop are only stopped for 3 years. Now, the remote viewing he's talking about doing can be achieved without a machine, because I do it. I can remote view to different locations. Sometimes I'm forced to go there in my sleep. When I say remote view, I mean your consciousness. It leaves your body and you're transported to a certain space and time. Kind of like astral projection, but astral deals with more with the mental side of, an out of body experience. And remote viewing deals with more of the spiritual side of an out of body experience. Okay. Um, I've been remote viewed to a certain point in time where the earth was desolated, and there was I was some type of sea creature, and I was off the coast of Sydney, Australia, and the opera house was still standing, and an asteroid about the size of Omaha, well, I mean Nebraska, um, came crashing down and totally decimated, you know, the opera house. And whatever type of sea creature I was, I went back into the water, and then I woke up. Um, I was also transported to Japan in 2011 in real time. Um, there was a lot of decimation. I was a little girl, and my dad had taken me to some type of building. It's a high rise. He went there for some type of business dealing with I guess like it was either like a DMV or a bank. Because we entered the building like this, and there were rows of chairs on this side over there. And in the front, going straight forward, there were there was like the chain links on the side. You know how they got the dividers on the side that's like either it could be rope or chain, That's what it was. And there was like three of them, and then there was like this sign that hung over where my dad went to go stand. And this is right before it happened. This is right before the earthquake happened, and I was a little girl. I went and sat down. As soon as I went to sit down, like literally seconds after that happened, the whole building started shaking, and it shook so hard and so fast. There was no way for us to try and run out and escape, you know, from the building shaking. There was no, trying to get out of it. And if you know anything about earthquakes, if the earthquake is too bad, you're not supposed to be in the high rise because the earthquake will shake the high rise to its foundation. Okay. I'm sorry, I got a hangnail spike bothering me. I'm gonna be myself on here. Because, either we can get it together and we can all use our energies together to help stop the planet from dying instead of being stupid assholes and saying, fine, let the planet die. I ain't got nothing going on anyway. That is so idiotic. That is so ignorant. That means you don't even care about your own life. If you took time to stop and realize something, you'd realize that the earth is a living being, fully, totally, and just alive, undeniably. Okay? There's instances where scientists have read the readouts of thermal imaging that has been taken from planet Earth, and it looks like Earth is breathing. And there's video of that. There's go look it up. Go type it in Google. Earth breathing. There's actual video of that. Excuse me, I'm getting a little excited because I want to get this message out because everybody needs to hear this. This is why all these shootings and race war propaganda talk and covert operations and all this stuff is going on. This is why it's going on. This is why it's happening because they're trying to um, distract everybody from the fact that Earth is being eaten from the inside out. That a supermassive black hole will be created by CERN, and it won't be the point of a pinprick. Okay? This motherfucker gonna be huge, and it's gonna come from out of the sky, and right here inside of our little dome we live in, we call Earth, and it's going to eat the fuck out of Earth's ass, and there will be nobody left, not even the so-called elites. That's why, let's go to motherfucking Mars. Let's go to Mars. Let's go to Mars. Mars may hold life. Mars may be able to contain life. If you all know the story of Atlantis, nobody from Mars is friendly. Nobody from Mars is safe. And definitely nobody from Mars is thinking about preservation of anybody else but themselves. Not even so much as that, because look what they did to their planet. Physically manifesting Merkaba. Merkaba means your light body spirit or your light body capacitor, what holds you within this metaphysical plane, this physical and spiritual plane. Your invisible force field around yourself. 3 up and 3 down. Okay? The first ones who talked about a Merkaba were, well, there's different names for it. A mandala, but the mandala is the circle, and Merkaba is the 6 points, the 6 point energy. But the circle is what holds the 6 point energy, because the circle is the 0 point or infinite point energy, the infinite and eternal point energy. That's why atoms, they move in circles. That's why Earth and everything else moves in circles, because that's the infinite and eternal point of energy. Okay? A physicist probably won't tell you this. Anyway, so CERN fucked up, but the fuck up has been put off for 3 years, basically. They haven't actually, the event hasn't happened yet, but it will. There's no, you're going to be ready. That's why they opened the seed vault in Sweden. That seed vault, that heirloom seed vault that they got there, they ain't gonna need it. That's why they opened it, because, oh, there's there's so much drought going on now. They need to open it now. That's not the reason they opened it now. 3 years from now, September 11th, 2019, Earth, unless we all get together and unless we all become one voice for planet Earth, Earth won't be here. Not in this instance, not in this existence, not as we know it. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is truth. I'm telling you. Mainstream media won't tell you this until it's too late. If they even tell you at all. Your governments won't tell you this until it's too late. If they even tell you this at all. You think I want to sit here in front of this computer screen knowing I'm being watched by them? They've been watching me my whole life. Knowing that my life has been filled with unexplainable events and experiences. Yet no one will explore them with me. No one will discover the answer with me, because they want me to fit in with them. And I'm not asking you to agree with me so I can agree with you. I'm asking you for your own good, to do your own research, to find the truth. Finding the truth is not finding the answer. It's just finding the truth, children. I'm 4.8 billion years old. How do I know that? Because I've done my research. I've researched and I've researched and I've researched and I've looked and I've looked and I've researched and I've looked and I've experimented and I've experienced and I've researched and I've asked questions and I've answered them myself, only to look for more questions, only to find more answers. Because I'm seeking truth of truth, not truth of the lie. A lot of y'all, a certain person, your favorite, speaker or, you know, uh, motivational leader, whoever. They'll say something to lull you, to feel, for you to feel secure, for you to feel safe. And you're okay with that. Okay, whatever you say goes. I don't have to listen to this crazy bitch with a motherfucking covering over her head talking to me with no eyebrows. Because she don't make no sense anyway. Maybe it's because you haven't done your own research. Is why I'm not making any sense to you. Maybe it's because you need to take initiative for your life to actually start seeking truth of truth and not seek it just in a church or, you know what I'm saying, in a synagogue or a mosque or a temple or a shrine. Not just seek it in a book. You have to seek it in you first. That's first and foremost. That's where you're going to see God, or who I call true supreme creator. What's in yourself? First Earthling is dying. And it's not just Fukushima that's killing First Earthling, because there's shores that animals are dying that ain't have shit to do with Fukushima. Okay? The East Coast, hundreds of herrings and tuna and all that other stuff washing up on the shore. Crabs, seagulls dropping out of the sky. Fukushima done hit over there, but it got the East Coast got the brunt of what the West Coast got. Maybe it's a methane plume that's being released because the core of the earth is being shaken. Okay. Now, and because of that, these sinkholes are popping up. Okay. One sinkhole is directly affecting us, and we don't even know it yet. Bayou Corn in Louisiana. That was a salt mine where whoever was running it goofed and oops. Oops the goof. And now it's been sinking for the last 3-4 years. Might even be 5. Go look up Bayou Corn. Corn is spelled Corne. Like Cornell without the L's. Look it up. Look up how really fucked up the earth is. While you sit there and you just try and pretend like nothing is happening and you're just going to be happy in your little own ignorance, and maybe one day you'll get to eat from that golden spoon and share a motherfucking photo with Beyonce. Or Selena Gomez or whoever the fuck you think you're trying to look up to. Because I guarantee you they don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. They're being used to push an agenda against you. And you refuse to wake up to it. Stop refusing to wake up to truth. These pop stars are being used against everybody. These politicians are being used against everybody. Some of them know it, most of them don't. Most superstars know they're being used against people, but they feel like they don't have a choice because, oh, my fame will get taken away from me, or my supposed place of safety when this shit goes down will be taken from me. But nowhere is going to be safe. Nowhere. Okay? That's why they're trying to get martial law instated now and do all this other fucking shit now. instate martial law and have people looking stupid when the shit starts popping up everywhere and motherfucking places of lava in hot motherfucking dense ass areas start popping up in the middle of motherfucking Los Angeles and shit. It's not just the San Andreas fault they have to worry about. It's the whole Cascadia subduction zone. Look it up. The Cascadia subduction zone starts all the way up there, past Alaska and goes all the way down past Florida through Texas, Mexico, Utah, all of that. The only thing that's anchoring the United States to land is Canada. Besides Canada, the only other fixed plate in the world, in the whole entire world, is Africa. China is not a fixed plate. It's not. It might be huge. Russia is not a fixed plate. It might be huge, but it's not fixed. It's movable. It can move. Ain't got nothing but water and mantle up under there. Africa is the only one that goes all the way down to the core. Only one. Only continent. And my mother said this, if Africa was ever modernized, the world was going to end. Guess what, children? Russia, well, actually it's China. China, because how do I know? My mom was over there in the 60s when China was over there building cities and shit for them in the Congo, in the interior. Okay? China has started building nuclear reactors for power plants over there, which is really idiotic because scientists found a 2 billion year old natural nuclear reactor up under Africa, and they were embarrassed by it. You can't learn anything if you're embarrassed by your teacher. Okay? Had they learned something, they would have figured out how to not use, a motherfucking nuclear source for energy. They would have found a better way. Did they do that, children? No, they did not. I'm being myself today because I don't want to be who you all are cool with me being. I'm gonna be a little bit uncouth today. Because I need to know what it's going to take to actually get you all up out of your sleep, stupor, chemtrailed, TV, mainstream, mind-controlled dream state. And actually get the fuck up. Start doing your research. Start working to heal your body, your mind, and eventually Earth. There's 7 billion people here. Are y'all just gonna let ourselves die? From one of my favorite movies called Serenity. It's about this space ship and this doctor who goes rogue from the confederation that is basically made up of America and Asia, China. And they've colonized all these planets after they terraformed them. And some of the planets are really nice, and other planets are dust balls. They just terraformed them enough to drop people there, and that was it. There's no water source. There's desert everywhere you look around. But yeah, people live there too because they have no choice. You know. So anyway, what else? Yeah. So Edward Mantill. Um, physicist at CERN. Um, there's 4 videos out there by I think it's called the Paranoid Files or something like that. Let me look it up to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Let me see. Go over here. Go to history. Paranoid Times is what it's called. It's a channel on YouTube. It's Dr. Edward Mantill. Sorry, I don't know why that happened, but no, I'm not going to play that one. I'm going to play SBHD. I like watching him. He's funny. He makes me laugh. You know, whoever he might be, he's a funny guy. So I watch him. But anyway, waiting for this to pop up. Alright, and now just listen.
The last words of Dr. Edward Mantill, a physicist at CERN. On July 13, 2016, a CERN researcher was found dead in his office from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The renowned scientist had been researching what he called a hidden code of sorts in the movement of neutrinos from the north to the south magnetic poles. His colleagues said he hadn't slept for days after he allegedly gave up on his research. He shut himself in his office, and after a couple days of not appearing in his lab or at his regular appointments, his state was discovered. He had burned all of his research in his trash bin, and his computer had been wiped of all data except one text file. Upon discovery, the document was classified but has since been leaked to the public by someone of yet unknown origin. It is assumed to be the final product of his research. This is a transcript of said document. If you're reading this, then I have failed. The LHC at CERN is capable of far more than they tell the public. 2 of the most impressive experiments that has taken place at CERN. We have found a way to look at people, places, and things much like looking in a mirror. We have decoded part of the mysteries of time travel. A person can jump, as they call it, to another person or object in time. We have also found out that we can't stop something that has happened or will happen, only delay the event. Each delay pushes an event forward for 3 years. Don't ask me why 3 years. Everything happens in threes. On April 29, 2016, the Large Hadron Collider was about to increase their power so high a high-energy collision inside the LHC would have created the first experimental evidence of Hawking radiation, the only radiation predicted to be emitted from a black hole's event horizon. 2 days later, a supermassive black hole formed. 3 days later, the Earth was gone. I saw this happen in the mirror experiments. I thought of my family, my friends. Then I decided I needed to do something to save them. Earlier this year, a friend of the family gave me a grown offspring of Felicia the ferret, who is somewhat of a low-key celebrity in the physics community, was used to help physicists clean 300-foot pipes in particle accelerators at FEMA Lab, a particle physics laboratory in Illinois. Felicia. So my friends, if this worked, a headline should read, "The most powerful machine on Earth was just halted by a tiny weasel. You should have another 3 years." Now I leave, but I also leave you with this. Life. Why is it so sacred? Has it been elevated to a mythical status with the onset of modern intelligence? Or Has modern intelligence caused you to come to the rational conclusion that life is but a mere commodity, one that gives nothing but advancements towards the greater good of a species that is doomed to die out as all species are? Is life without intelligence really life? Can intelligence and consciousness be separated into two distinct pools? A hive mind can be intelligent without consciousness. A conscious being can certainly lack intelligence. Which is the one that is attributed to life and is celebrated as the pinnacle of evolutionary genius? Life itself simply means to sustain biomechanical functions. Plants can wither and die. Then again, so can planets, stars, even entire galaxies. Are these cosmic entities alive? Many would say of course not. But, if you regard the definition of healthy as being able to maintain equilibrium in a body and the definition of life as not inanimate but made up of inanimate and animate objects, then planets would certainly fit these criteria as a healthy living being. The ability to grow and maintain equilibrium is certainly a function of planets. So these people that assign the definition of life to animals and plants must maintain that intelligence or consciousness is necessary, except, plants are neither. So we must look deeper. Metabolism? Is life the ability to metabolize? To many the answer to this question is yes, though they may not know it. Enzyme-catalyzed reactions are the basis for life. Yet nowhere in these reactions does intelligence or consciousness come into play. So to preserve life, and value it to such a degree, you value these reactions. These micro-communications and effects that give objects the ability to live are prized and valued above all else. But, when one says that a person lost their life, they don't mean that they lost their ability to metabolize. They mean they lost their intelligence, their consciousness, not their chemical reactions.
Alright, that's all I'm going to play of that. If you want to hear the rest of it, I will do my best to leave a link in the description box below. And once again, the channel is called Paranoid Times, which I'm subscribed to, so you can go to my channels and type it in and you can find it if you want. He was speaking in like he was the earth, and he was asking that question. And then he goes on in the video to talk about how there are super bugs that we, that are antibiotic resistant now. Like MRSA, or the superbug chlamydia, or blue waffles, subform of chlamydia, which is a superbug of chlamydia. And I also heard there's a superbug gonorrhea going around now too. Okay? And it goes on in the letter, him as Earth goes on to state that the medicine is the supermassive black hole that is going to appear and destroy our life on this Earth. And this is worse than, the Atlantean disaster. What is the Atlantean disaster? Go to the Spirit Soul channel or Spirit Science channel and look it up. Or go to spiritscience.com. It's either .com, .org, or .net. It's one of those. And you can look up the Atlantean disaster. They have videos on that about what happened to Atlantis. And Atlantis, there's different names for Atlantis, or there's different places they say Atlantis existed. The true Atlantis existed around North America. And North America was here. But most of the top part of North America was submerged in water. But the bottom part of America was here. Okay? So, the Atlantean disaster destroyed the space-time dimension for Earth. And that's why we have what's called, now we have what's called viral vortices, which are these energy fields that exist in certain places like the Bermuda Triangle or the Devil's Playgrounds or the Devil's Shipyard, or you know what I'm saying, different places like that. Um, where these really massive energy fields are just, which are, one in Native American prophesied about them, and he called them um, earth wounds, something like that. And they were already opened, but CERN and HARP technology made them worse. Okay? Also chemtrails, because they're trying to control those um, viral vortices to use to transport um, supermassive storms into a certain particular place. And the viral vortices, I forget how many there are. They're like 20, 30 some viral vortices on the planet right now, and they're everywhere. Go look them up. Look up map of viral vortices. Vortice, VORTICES. Okay, vortices. Or you could say vortex, but vortice and vortex is basically kind of the same thing, but it's not. Kind of like matrix and matrix. Anyway, and I've done my own research, and going to show you. Yay! Show and tell. Okay, so I've got these writings that I told you all about, and I told you about the Fibonacci sequences, and there's two that I have, two different ones. Okay. Might have brought the wrong book. Let me see. Nope, I brought the right one. Let's see. Okay. I told you all about the Fibonacci sequences. And I told you about, there were two different sets, or three. And I told you that those that pretend to have power are using two different ones to try and control this existence as we know it. So here is the extended one. I'm probably going to have to flip this around. See, that says 2052. This right here says 2052. Let me see. Um, I'm trying to find out how to flip this for you guys. Give me a second. Okay. Well, looks like I can't. It doesn't have that ability here or on this one. Okay. Um. Anyway, okay, I can't flip it, you guys. Doesn't look like I can. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can flip this, unfortunately. What a buzz kill. Buzz Killington. Well, I'll fix it later, hopefully. Either way, I might edit that out. Either way, this is the glitched reality that we live in. How did I get here? Well, as you can see, I started multiplying. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 3 is 18, 18 times 6 is 108. And then I glitched it right here. I messed it up because I took something from here and to make another equation, in order to make another equation, okay, in order to keep the sequence going. So 108 and 6 was 114, and then I glitched and I put 18 there again. So I took the 18 from up here and I redistributed the 18 again here, okay, and that's how I got 2052. And then I kept on with the sequence, as you can see. Kept on, and they get longer and longer and bigger. All right. No, that's not it. I told y'all I did it up. Actually, this one I did up to the 16th sequence, because the original quote unquote simplified given to us Fibonacci sequence is 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, and so on and so forth until you get up to the 16th sequence, which is 987. And I was born in 1987, so that kind of resonated with me. Anyway, um, how did I find out that this is the sequence of algorithms that they're using to try and control this reality? Because on June 24th of 2016, I was listening to a YouTube video, and he's a he's something like a financial um investor or risk taker, or even just an informer. Okay, he has his own show on YouTube. You can go to my history and check it out, or I'll just put the link down below. Maybe, you know, maybe, baby. Okay, I'm getting sleepy, so I'm getting just maybe a tad little crazy. That's all. But ha ha ha, me getting crazy, that's ludicrous. Anyway, what I did was, after I heard his show, I'm basically what had happened was, this is after the Brexit happened, and they were talking about how gold was going up, and he had talked about how gold had jumped a significant amount and silver had too, an ounce. So I went, and a number that he told me seemed familiar, okay? And I'm like, let me go look through these sequences that I got written down, because that number sounds like I've heard it before. So I'm looking through the sequences. Started on this page. This is which sequence is this? This is the 16th sequence. Okay. started out here. I don't know if you can see all the numbers. Okay. You see that? Alright. Now I know it's backwards and shit. I told y'all I'm gonna try and flip that bitch. Anyway. But I saw some of them. Not really in this one though. So I kept looking. No, I didn't see none of them really in this one. So I flipped it over and I was going backwards like I said. And what's really interesting is this was this is the 5,776th year, because I think 2015 was 775, which is in the Jewish calendar. And the Jewish calendar year for 2019 is 5,779, and I found that right here. Okay, 5779. All right. Now I was looking for the numbers. I couldn't find them. So before I got to the number, I started. Before I actually found the number to the algorithm, I found this number right here. It's kind of backwards or jumbled. It's which way did it go? It's 71113. Can you see that? I got it in parentheses. 71113, and there's another one. 71113. Okay. And let me see. Let's see. Was there another one? Oh, one is 1377. Okay. And then I turned it over, and I found it. Kind of found it again, basically. Right here. It's 13. Right here. 13771. Okay. And I'm like, well, I almost found it. I didn't find it. I didn't think, it had it in here, because the number, what he said that gold had risen to $1,317.17 an ounce. Right? The number sounded real familiar to me. So I started looking for it. And behold, eventually after, because something kept telling me, it's there. Keep looking, because it's there. Keep looking. And I'm like, I don't see it. And it's like the voice inside of me that knows things, the me that knows things, was like, keep looking. It's there. I see it. You don't see it. It's right there. And I just kept looking, and I'm like, oh my God, I found it. So, let's see. See this right here? $1,317.17. That's a 17. Okay? It's right there. This is how I know that this glitched algorithm is what they're trying to use to control this reality. And that's how I know this reality is very glitched. Okay? It's part of the reason why I know what I'm talking about. Because I do my research. Now, I didn't go in my mind and calculate all these numbers. I'm not going to lie to you like that. I can do the simplified one in my head pretty easily. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I just, I studied it, because I'm like, there's something missing here. This is too simple. I mean, it's complicated to those who don't know how to read patterns. Okay. but it's simple to those who do. But it's so simple, it's too simple. There's something missing here. There's something, not being said. And I'm like, okay, well, Creator or God said, be fruitful and multiply in the Bible. He didn't say add. So that's when I started doing numerologies with multiplication. Actually, I had been doing numerology with multiplication. It wasn't until a couple years ago that this one came and smacked me in my head like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And also, I had been doing multiplication with my numerology or my number patterns because um not only because Creator said be fruitful and multiply, but Creator also said one to those who add unto things that I have already created. It says that somewhere in the Bible. I can't remember where. Quote me on that, but you know what I'm saying? Don't quote me on where in the Bible, but I know it's there. I've read it in the Bible before. Okay? Um so that's what made me start multiplying. And that's how I got to where basically I am today. Thinking how I'm thinking and knowing what I know. Knowing that I know what I know. Okay? That 2019 is right on the algorithm. Right on the algorithm. Because when you multiply, you take out the zeros. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 9 is 18. That's 9. 2 plus 9 is 11. That's 9/11. September 11th, 2019. The earth might not be here anymore. Children, it's time for y'all to start doing your research. It's time for you to give up on the dream that they tried to sell you. They tried to sell me. They tried to sell our moms and our dads. That dream is gone. It really never was there to begin with. Okay? People in the 50s and 60s lived, the rich people lived the so-called dream. But when you look at it, they weren't really happy at all. They were oppressed, white and black people. They were in fear of losing their livelihoods, how they make a living, being able to handle the cares of the world every day, your bills and your hygiene and your this and your that and clothes and you know different things of that nature. Okay, but they weren't truly happy. They had to pretend to be happy. When it got to the 70s, the end of the 70s, you know, and the 80s and the 90s, they realized they were lied to. Black and white people. Didn't matter your color. You were lied to. That's why I'm not with Black Lives Matter. I say all lives matter. I'm not saying it just to counter Black Lives Matter. Black lives do matter, but all lives matter to me as well, including the ground that you're standing on, protesting the fact that your oppressor is oppressing you without realizing that he's being oppressed himself. He's oppressing himself too. But he's enjoying his oppression. You're not. That's the difference. He's enjoying his pawn ship while you're playing right into his pawn ship hands. Did you know that the guy who owns Black Lives Matter um has a house that was bought from the George Soros Society, which is connected to the George Soros Foundation? Do you know that this man made $165,000, $165,000 in the Boston school system, not doing shit for the children, not truly doing anything for those children? If he was truly doing something for those children wouldn't be walking around like the children are in Chicago, a 9-year-old with a 9mm looking to shoot somebody. Yeah, here we are, Black Lives Matter, stop killing us. Looking like fools. Y'all following him looking like a fool because you don't have the full truth. You just think you do. You think this is better than nothing. This is better than somebody else trying to tell me how to conduct myself when I'm angry. But you're letting somebody else tell you how to conduct yourself while you're angry. You have never seen true anger. You've never seen true sorrow. Not to the point where you had to endure it almost damn near basically all your life. Because if you had, your outlook wouldn't be go with people who I want to agree with me and who wants me to agree with them, so that we can go and talk about how we're being so hurt by the people who are supposed to be so protective and so caring of us. The mind controllers are not here to protect anybody except for the establishment. Yeah, they might protect that white person, but once that white person get out and start telling the truth, that motherfucking head is cut off with their motherfucking head, because they're going against the establishment. Means you're going against the crown. Means you're going against the mind control that they set up. Means you're trying to wake people up to what's truly actually happening here. Earth is dying a slow, painful, arduous death that is still in the first stages and can be stopped. It takes not just one mind, it takes all of our minds saying, I don't want First Earthling to die. First Earthling is a loving and beautiful place, and I want First Earthling to have a chance to show me how alive First Earthling is. I want to be able to see that beauty. I want my children to see that beauty. Most of you have children. You don't care about what's going on. Don't give me that, oh, it's if it's the Lord's will crap. Don't give me that fucking crap. Don't give me that shit. Not at all. Creator's will is for us to live. If it was anything different, we wouldn't be alive right now. To live, to heal, to learn, to grow. And once we've done all we could, once we've fulfilled our purpose to make this better, this existence better, we move on to better existences. And we help make them better. Because they're already better, but you can always get better. You can always heal. Eternal healing means eternal life. Eternal and infinite life means all-encompassing existence in one, in whole. To me, there is no duality. To me, the duality is false. And can't nobody change my mind on that. Period. There is no whole. There's balance with duality, but that balance is false because something could come along and tip it one way or the other, and everything goes fuck shit and chaos is everywhere. So that's not true balance to me. That's not wholeness to me. With that, my little hour is up. I'm about to read y'all something from my little book. This is my poem book. Find the poem, read it. Since we're talking about CERN and how Earth is supposed to be destroyed in the next 3 years, see, and even with this, on here, there are things that I know about that people come out their mouths and say, and then everybody believes that, but when I say it, I get the Cassandra effect. What is the Cassandra effect? Can anybody tell me who Cassandra was? Where she lived, what the fuck happened that she tried to warn everybody about? No? Okay, children. Let me give you this little lesson before I give you my poetry. Cassandra was a seer, a prophetess, and she prophesied something that the gods didn't like. Either that, or she talked about how her gift was so, extravagant, and the gods didn't like that. Either way, the gods didn't like it, and I believe it was Juno or somebody, Juno, Hera, somebody cursed her ability and told her, "You will continue to see all the bad that happens throughout life." She could see the good and the bad before this, but afterwards she could only see the bad. And she was told, "You'll only see the bad, and you will warn people about it, but nobody will believe you, and you will be forever ridiculed." So, she so happened to be walking in Pompeii 3 days a week, maybe even 3 months, 3 weeks, whatever. Somewhere between the time of 3 months and 3 days before Mount Vesuvius in Pompeii, Rome. Well, not Rome. Pompeii, Italy. Kicked the bucket. Blew its plume. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. She was warning people. Like Noah warned everybody about getting in the fucking ark or making their own ark because fuck shit, it's about to get more fuck shit than what the fuck shit it is. Yeah. And people was like, fuck you, Noah. Guess what they said? Fuck you, Cassandra. You don't know anything. Everything you say, it never comes true. Which it always came true. They just would accept it from somebody else before they accepted it from her. But she had said it before it happened. But a fake ass false seer or psychic or whatever would come up and say, after they heard her say what the fuck is gonna happen, these motherfuckers would come up and say, this is gonna happen and that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it would happen and they say, you're a seer. We believe you. You know what I'm saying? You have the sight, you have that power. You have the foreknowledge. You're all powerful. May we serve you in any way? Type shit. Yeah. And she would always not get the motherfucking benefit of the doubt. Well, before Mount Vesuvius and Pompeii went off, it is said that Cassandra walked there, the halls of Rome or whatever you want to call it. You get my drift. Of Pompeii. It's an island off the coast of Rome or some shit like that, or Greece. Might be Greece. But I think Delphi is off the coast of Greece. So I think Pompeii was off the coast of Rome. Either way, the Isle of Delphi. Y'all don't know about the Isle of Delphi or the last prophecy that was given about how the Oracle of Delphi, who was supposed to have something to do with Apollyon, the sun god, said that Greece wouldn't be no more and the Isle of Delphi would be engulfed in flames. Anyway, go do your research. Anyway, so Pompeii, eventually Mount Vesuvius blew, and everybody died. Either they were covered in ash and frozen in time, or they just melted, and then they tried to swim their ass out to sea, but the sea was on fire because they had lava flowing in it. So they all died when they all could have listened to Cassandra, but Cassandra was cursed, so nobody believed her. That's what they call the Cassandra effect. Not saying that I'm cursed, but people don't believe me when I say certain shit, And the crazy thing about it is, they don't believe me until a long time afterward, after they see everything starting to happen that I say was gonna happen. Like one of my friends named Juan Macon, who I talked to about a year ago, year and a half, something like that. We was on the phone, we was kicking it, chilling, kicking bobos. He from Chicago. That's where I used to stay. While I was going to school, I met him, as a friend, and we started talking, and he said, "Hey, yo, Nina, you remember all that stuff you was saying when we was in school, when you was around here, when you was around us, you was talking to us, we wasn't listening?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh." He's like, "Man, did you know all that shit came true?" No. Really? No. Really? No. Really? It came true? No. Yo, 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 dog. No. Man, fuck that shit, man. It ain't come true. Nah. I don't believe you. I'm playing. I ain't answer like that. I told him, yeah, I know it came true because I said it was going to happen. This is not wishes that I'm speaking out of my mouth, folks. This is true, unadulterated, pure fact coming from a spiritual, energetical point of life. Okay? That's what this is. Period. I give it to you in a raw. I'm not sugarcoating anything. Anyway, to this poem. It's called No After Earth This Time by Yonina Yisrael. That's my name. I wrote it May 19th of 2015. It goes like this. No after Earth this time. Let's not take the tape back to rewind. We are all like in kind. We are all raped of our minds and never know it until it's time. Earth turns on a dime, loving us all as if love was blind. We, as her children, do not return the feeling. As we are dim-witted and dumbed down, we are made to go against her, our mother. All we have to do is bring ourselves back to being, back to internal source creator energy. Yes, all things would be so clear. We could heal the earth and ourselves in less than a year. The earth, she is whole, and everything encompassed in oneness. We don't need to die if she has no reason to flip. We don't make that choice and expect her to spin, falter, and to slip. She intends to live, thrive, and survive like never before, and we can too. No need to settle the score. We must see her as us and not as an alien shore. Wise Mother Earth beckoning us to remember our core. Listen to her words, and she will tell you more. Unlike any times past, you will be one, and we can dance with the earth and rejoice for our central sun. It's the reality of this false light we must shun. Even they can heal, and there's no need to run. This poem is no sport pun, for the apocalypses have begun. As you can see, I didn't say apocalypse because there's more than one apocalypse going on. If you go look up the word apocalypse, it only means revealing. It means something, the unveiling, the unfolding. CERN has already done that. They've already slipped through the veil. Okay? All you need to do is go do your research and you'll find that. And it's not pretty what's up under that veil, children. It's not. I don't know if y'all remember the Mortal Kombat game and the bitch named Melina. She wear that shit up over her face and shit right here. It covers her mouth and shit. And you lift that shit up and she's got this grimace that goes and these teeth that go from here all the way back. Like that. And they're all sharp and shit and her mouth looks like this and shit up under the veil. That's what that looks like. Okay? Okay? It's not pretty. Okay? So, yeah. This concludes my time for now. Might be back on here. I posted the video about my mom talking about Ronald Reagan and him injecting baby fetal matter into his body. Kind of remind me of the movie Shoot 'Em Up, where the senator was doing experimental treatments for his legs. I think he had MS or polio or some shit like that, and he was getting women inseminated so that they could have his baby, so he could have stem cells to be, fetal stem cells that could be researched. But if you've done your research and you went and did as I told you all to do, and go look up Before the First Cup with Jules, right here on YouTube, you'll find out that they don't need children fetal stem cells anymore because they can take any type of your little, tissues with CRISPR technology and bioengineering technology that they have, and they can turn those cells into any kind of stem cells they want. So you go do your research, and I will do the tags, and I will add the links. And I'm going to start trying to do more work on these videos so I can get more views. Not because I want the views, not because I want subscribers. I don't do this for that. I do this for information, for true knowledge to be shared, for true knowledge to get out there to you, no matter how I look. Okay? And one last thing, in the Bible, they talk about how, in Revelations, that there's a lamb looking as though it had been slain. And he was called the Savior, and him who sits on a white horse and all that other crap. My mom explained that to me, saying that means that there will be a poor man who will become the Savior. So all these Umar Johnsons and all these Creflo Dollars and all these other motherfuckers who pretending to be the savior of the people need to sit the fuck down. Even if they pretending to bring the Savior to the people, or to bring the people to the Savior, because they have no clue. They are not interpreting the Bible how it needs to be interpreted. Not to say that it was interpreted how it needed to be interpreted from the get-go, because as I explained, they took the Bible, and I'll make this another video. They took the Bible and they made it so that it was transliterated in a way to where it was contradictory and no one could actually understand what the fuck they were reading. Even when it was translated into a language that whoever was reading it understood. It went from being Hebrew and Aramaic, and it was Hebrew, Aramaic, and another language that they don't use. Hebrew is from an unknown origin, the whole language, okay? And because of that, there were words in Hebrew that were not understood. So they were seeking to find words that maybe could be used to understand it. So that's why they were using Aramaic to try and understand Hebrew, which was wrong anyway. So that's why the book, when they transliterated it into Latin, it wasn't translated right. And then they went and botched the translation again and translated it into Anglo-Saxon or Indo-Germanic, or what you call the British English today. That's an Indo-Germanic language. Language is spoken energy. So yes, your words do mean something. If you mind, you move matter. When you mind, you move matter. Okay? That's a whole nother video though. I'll go into that later. Um, you all have a blessed night or day. And talk to you soon. Love you all. Bye.